Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Fresh Out of the Oven. I've got Dadalorian and I've got the Wookiee back. What's up, guys?
Not much. Having fun.
Having
Just
fun. It's a
hanging in there.
blast. Hanging in there, hanging in there. All right, that's what I like to hear. So, first off, as always, what have we been playing this week?
Oh, I've been playing some Aliens, Dark Descent with some Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas.
Hell yeah! I've actually looked at Aliens: Dark Descent. I haven't actually played it. Uh, it was specifically the style of gameplay is why I didn't buy it and play it.
hmm
So I
I'd say
probably never
honestly,
will either. But what do you think about it?
I like it. Usually, I don't like the overhead kind of gameplay,
Yeah,
but I'm actually enjoying it. I'm enjoying being able to move the four-man squad where I need to go and try to hide from the Xenos and try to rescue the people with face huggers and everything else. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun.
yeah, and it's a tactics game, correct?
Yes.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah! Hope you keep enjoying that.
hmm
Dadalorian, what you been playing this week?
I did some ATV Off-Road Fury for the PlayStation 2.
Hell yeah, that game's a classic, my guy.
Yeah, we also did Lord of the Rings Two Towers and Return of the King.
Love both of those games. Would love an HD remaster of both.
Yes.
Del- uh, Dived a little into Lego and Halo Infinite for a little bit there.
Yep.
And I think that's about it for this week.
Hell yeah,
So
hell
far.
yeah.
So far. It ain't over yet.
Yep. Well, just so everybody is aware, I have been playing Helldivers 2 quite a bit. It is a blast with some friends. We've had some hilarious shit happen to us. Friendly fire is a thing.
Yeah, I
So,
knew that. It looks like so much fun.
yeah, don't be running or crossing streams. That's all I gotta say. Some fuck shit will happen. And if you have some anti-air, whatever the hell you want to call it, some fucking bombs to call in, stay the fuck out of the way.
Get your boys out of the way.
Yep. Call that
Broken
shit
Arrow.
out. Yeah, I mean it's insane. I have a blast. I'll have some clips up this week on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, so be ready to see that shit. But if you want to see us live, you can catch us out on twitch.tv/darthbiscuit116 and on YouTube as well with the same name. We go live Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Other than that, I've been playing still. It is a very large game. Honestly, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to fucking finish it. It's Xenoblade Chronicles on the Switch. And I started with Dadalorian last week. Unfortunately, we haven't had the time to get back on it, but we are running through the Halo campaigns together. So after I run through all that, I think I will hop on over to the next Xbox IP, which would be Gears of War. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. But obviously, don't want to stick around on that topic too much, even though it kind of is the topic. We are going to be talking about Xbox possibly going third party. It seems there's a lot of confusion going around out there right now, guys. I think obviously it's kind of a decision they're looking at, but we've heard quite a bit of extensive rumors about possible Halo, Gears of War, Starfield, and Indiana Jones. And did I say Gears of War already?
Yes.
All right, yeah, definitely. I'm an idiot. All those titles coming to PS5, Nintendo. Obviously, they're already going to be on Xbox and they're going to be on PC. Uh, right off the rip, what's your immediate reaction to that rumor, Dadalorian?
I mean, we've this is something that we've talked about for years, that as soon as We remember when Game Pass first became a thing, and instantaneously we were like, it's going to be, they said that itself, Netflix for games.
Mhm.
And we were like, it's going to be a subscription service and it's going to expand beyond Xbox. And then they did it to PC. And it wouldn't surprise me if PS5 and Nintendo's next.
Okay. All right. Wookie, what's your initial reactions to this article or rumor?
If it ends up being true, I don't think Xbox should have made such a big deal about Starfield being an exclusive. I think
Okay.
that's really, I think that's silly. Uh, it's going to be weird seeing Gears or Halo on a different platform.
Mhm.
But it will be nice to be able to have other players play those games for me because I like Gears and I like Halo, and so it'd be nice to see other people finally be able to enjoy that. So I think that's cool, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they do it.
Okay. Okay. So I got a little bit of follow-up question for you on that, Wookie.
Yeah.
So there is Gears of War 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, Judgment, 4, and 5, and Tactics, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you are, I want you to kind of put yourself in a hardcore stance, like you've only played PlayStation games, okay? You've had all of these great titles, left and right, left and right. You're finally allowed to play Gears of War, the entire franchise. Do you think that changes the way you look at those games if you play 1, 2, 3, and then it all just goes fucking downhill from there? Because it seems to me like a lot of people actually enjoy 1, 2, and 3 and are good games, and then after that, they kind of go downhill in quality.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Okay. So if you were a PlayStation player, how would you look at that? Would you buy a sixth one if they announced the sixth one on that console?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't. Because even I struggle to try to. I know I'm going to get it, but if I'm a PlayStation only person and
Yeah.
I've played these other great games, I personally wouldn't want to get Gears 6.
Okay. So if you were by any chance, say this is how it was actually happening, you're still sitting in that chair, what would your dollar amount be to buy 6 eventually?
Well, it's on the Microsoft Game Pass on PlayStation. I'd say 40.
You would $40 be your top dollar, the top dollar amount you pay.
Yeah.
Okay, and it would be digital only.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I think that would be a fair price. I think eventually, if this were to happen, I think that's what I would be my top dollar, unless I play through the stories when I go through them and I like them enough. I would pay a full price for it. Now, thankfully, I am a PC gamer mostly now, so I have PC Game Pass, so I would just play it off of there. Secondly, if you were to be a PC gamer and you were only playing on PC from now on, would you still subscribe to Game Pass?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I ask that is because there's been a lot of questions out there on the value of Game Pass now, right? Because for so long, these games have come out day and date for Game Pass and Xbox consoles only, right?
Yeah.
So, if these games were now releasing everywhere, does that diminish the value of this game?
Diminish the value of the game?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay. I wouldn't say so either. I mean, I think whether or not the value is going to be there per person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Because
definitely.
if you're a Gears of War player, you're going to buy it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a PS5 player, you might not. If it looks interesting to you. If you're a PC gamer, you might not. You know, I think a lot of PC gamers already have PC Game Pass as well. So, Nintendo, you might not. It just depends on how well it runs on the next console.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now gonna ask Dallas kind of the opposite. You there, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, did you hear the question as well?
Yeah. The initial question, which is
It was, do you think that with games releasing outside of the platform of Xbox and Game Pass, do you think it diminishes the value of the game?
no, I think if it's a good game, it's going to sell.
Yeah.
That's just simple. Like, just because a really, really good game becomes non-exclusive, that doesn't diminish the value. It's still a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
So it just, like you said, it goes from person to person. It goes, what do you prefer to play it on?
Right. Yeah. What platform are you? So let's talk about platform then. Obviously they are working on a next console, whether it's a mid-gen refresh or whether the rumors are true and it is just a digital version of a Series X. Make sure I have my lining of questioning straight in my head. With the rumors going around, specifically, I'll just use Hi-Fi Rush for example. Hi-Fi Rush has been very successful for Game Pass, but not successful financially. As far as in sales, obviously people that are on Game Pass are playing it, they're loving it. I'm sure the game has sold, but the rumors are that it's going to PlayStation 5 and Nintendo. One, do you think the game's going to sell well? Two, on which platform do you think it will sell better?
I think it would sell better on Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
But as long as the game is what's the term where you could play with other consoles, like different consoles? Is
Crossplay.
it cross platform? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the game will sell on the other two consoles, especially Nintendo, better if that was into place. But my pick would be it's going to sell better on Nintendo.
Yeah. I think I could agree with that. Let's say they release this game on both platforms, is extremely successful. One of the other parts of the rumor is that the sequels for these games would be Xbox exclusive only. Do you think a game like that can drive people to buy into a different console system?
If that was the case, I think it would have happened already.
Agreed. What you thinking, Wookie?
Honestly, I don't know if it would.
Yeah.
Um, I I guess that's where I'm struggling with, because it doesn't seem like many sequels are going to sell games outside of stuff that PlayStation does. Because again, PlayStation has better stories with everything, and they're better overall.
Mm-hmm.
I I guess that's where I'm at.
For too long, Xbox lost their own vision, and
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation took complete advantage of that and just continued to grow in the best ways. They had a little bit of a hiccup with the PS3, but even then, it still sold phenomenally.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we're all three in agreement on this. If it was to happen, it would have happened already. It's not like 20 years ago where that was a thing. If you wanted to play Halo, you'd buy an Xbox. Like, it would make you want to go buy an Xbox. So I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, as far as console wars goes, I think we all can agree that they've lost that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think no matter, they'd have to buy the entire fucking market to catch up to Nintendo and PlayStation. I think honestly, in the end, what would happen, and I think it sounds probably fucking crazy to some people, but if Xbox, Microsoft were continue to go out and purchase other studios and developers, I think eventually you would see a merger of Nintendo and PlayStation. And that would be fucking game over, I think, at that point. But with that being said, that's a weird fucking high off up out there.
I was gonna say that would be insane. Nintendo would have to let go of so much ego to do that.
I don't think it would be an ego issue though. I think it would be what's better for their company. And I don't think, at the end of the day, the way Japanese studios run themselves are a lot different than the way American studios are.
Right.
And if it was necessary for them to merge with another company to survive and to take care of their people, I think that would be, they would.
Yeah.
I mean, they've kind of already proven that they'll do what is necessary to take care of their people by taking pay cuts, the CEOs and stuff like that. You don't hear of that shit over here in America.
Nope.
So,
No, you see layoffs.
yeah, that's definitely 100% true. That, like I said, that's way off their theory if things were to continue the way they are. But obviously, that's not the. I don't think. I think Microsoft is done purchasing studios.
I think so too.
With what they've said, Satya Nadella or not, something like that. However you pronounce that dude's name, the head. Oh, he said with buying Activision Blizzard King, it now allows them to do what they've always set out to do, which is make great games and put them across all platforms. That's pretty fucking plain and clear that I think ultimately they want to become just a publisher. I don't think they have a next hardware console. I think it will simply be just like a little USB stick, like a Fire Stick, Google Chrome kind of ordeal, Roku ordeal. I think that's that. for their console. Wookie, do you think they put out new hardware?
I'd say probably one more console. And
Like
then
one
that
more
will be
generation of console, or
yeah. I would say one more generation of console.
okay, I think that's
No,
fair.
no, yeah, because I know they're with everything they're doing, and then possibly getting rid of the Xbox logo and just going to Microsoft. Uh, it does seem more likely that they're just going to go ahead and put their games on different platforms. That might take a little bit for other games to be able to do that. I don't know how one would do that. So
I
I
mean,
would
they
say
bought
at
a
least,
shit ton of dev kits.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'd say at least one more generation of consoles, and then after that, that will be done, and they'll just upgrade it as much as they can. But at that point, it, I wouldn't really see a need for an Xbox because of the Game Pass on other consoles.
I mean, if they did release new hardware, I don't know if it would be a console at all. I kind of feel like it would be what Weston was talking about. It'd be like this it'd be a thumbstick that has memory built into it,
mm-hmm.
to where like if you're talking about console specifically, earlier when he mentioned that about that rumor about the digital version of the Series X, I see that happening, but I don't see them doing a whole new generation of console. And if console specifically, but a new generation, yeah, it'll be the thumbstick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the hardware situation is like difficult to theorize around and have a conversation. One, because they're being outsold 2-1, right?
Yeah.
And the reports came out that they stifled their production on the Series X and Series S to put more money into the server blades for cloud. So that's why I have a feeling that the USB Chrome Fire Stick ordeal makes more sense for their next generation. You can have your cloud side, and then you can have your Series X. And the Series X still does 4K, and then eventually it'll do 120 frames per second for games once I learn how to actually develop for that. Mainly on the Bethesda side.
Mm.
Not necessarily Xbox Game Studios. I think their games, even though they come out fewer and in between, their games come out looking way prettier than anything Bethesda's done. I know that may sound crazy to some people. I know Starfield is massive and they got all these planets and stuff, but the game is dated already.
Very dated.
And that's facts. I don't want to be a hater. I think the game has a future, but not now. I think it was a really good beta test.
Yeah.
To be honest. My eye is itching.
You're not wrong though.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell me what you think.
how Starfield is, I think, is how Fallout 4 should have looked, and with the less bugs, glitches. But
You
as
mean
far
does
as
look? They almost look identical.
oh no, Fallout 4 is it's rough. But Starfield is Bethesda's best looking game, but compared to the other uh, developers and everything else, it's not that great.
See, I'm on the opposite end here. So I'm actually kind of curious to argue this one out. Because I think Fallout 4 looks way better than Starfield. I think the world as it is way more fulfilling to walk around in and look at and visually pleasing more than Starfield.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because instead of having an entire galaxy to render and make lively and put detail in, they just had this square map that they're like, all right, let's fill it in.
yeah, I feel like when you're walking around in Fallout 4, you're not as bored as you would be playing Starfield on specific areas in Starfield. I will say that, because some of those areas, like some of those main space stations, whatever the hell you want to call them, your headquarters, whatever, those are pretty nice to look at and walk around in, because you actually do feel like you're walking around in an area that's the way it would look like in the future. You know, with the robots and the starships landing and shit like that. But in most planets, when you get past that and you're out there just walking around in the wilderness or the wilds, whatever you want to call them, that's where I think they lose me.
Because it's not as full of life.
Yeah.
Do you think the older the Bethesda games are, the more lively and full of content they are?
I would say outside of. So, yes.
Okay.
But you also have to think that 76, use it as an example, it's still full of it's full of content, even with the stuff they've added to it to make it better. That does have more content than Starfield, where I would say it's because it's all condensed and not so spread over was like 1,000 worlds or such.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget Fallout 76, when it first came out, there was no NPCs.
Yeah.
And it's
So
had time to develop. So like it's hard when you try to compare Starfield to 76, that's not a really good thing to compare it to.
Well, you said older games for Bethesda, and so therefore
Not MMO
that
though. I'll be more specific, not MMO.
everything but ESO and 76.
Yeah.
I still think, though, that Starfield and 76 make a good comparison, because I think eventually Starfield could see a bigger and better success compared to 76, though. Especially with updates and content and add in bug fixes, shit like that. Huh. Yeah, well, let's move on past Starfield here then. Let's say so there was Bill, excuse me. Bill Spencer tweeted, "We hear you, blah 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 blah. We're having this business meeting come up next week, and we're gonna relay out the future plans or whatever for the brand." What do you think is going to be said in that meeting, Wookie?
ooh. Obviously, don't worry, guys. We'll still be here making games for you. I'll definitely say that this will be a chance to have our games be able to reach more people, and they'll probably bring up something like Spyro or Crash Bandicoot coming over to Xbox. This will be something along those lines, and that the Xbox will still be here. Don't worry. Essentially,
Yeah, so Xbox isn't going anywhere, essentially, is what you think they're going to say.
Yeah,
Okay.
Xbox isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I think Xbox Game Studios is not going anywhere. I think it is changing though. I don't think you'll see the Xbox branding. If that makes any sense.
It
Yeah.
does, and most people that aren't, into what goes on behind the scenes like we are, they'll look at that as the death of Xbox.
Yeah. Well, I think it's better for them to rebrand anyways. I think
They
Xbox is
do.
already
They do.
dead compared to other things. So, huh.
A fresh look, a fresh start would be great for that company, and this is a good opportunity for that.
I agree. I agree. Seeming how like a lot of people say Xbox is on fire, it's going downhill. I think they've already been burnt. I think they've already been burnt for a long time, and
Started with
hopefully,
the Xbox One.
what comes out of those ashes is a nice, beautiful baby phoenix. Uh, but I don't necessarily see the Xbox branding for the future. I think it's all Microsoft. I think Microsoft, the heads there, have finally have said, uh, "You had your chance. You messed up. We're buying this and we're doing this now." And I think that's the full on publisher.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm
Like,
crazy?
no, because as I was saying, they've had over a decade to get their shit right when they went from 360 to Xbox One, and they've just continuously dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And imagine how much money they've lost simply because they're trying to pick up the pieces that they've essentially destroyed within their own grasp. Like the time of when Xbox One first started and when PS4 started going, the quality of PS4 just continued to rise while Xbox One, the guy literally was like, "Yeah, we have. If you want to play those good games, there's a thing called the 360." That's not a good way to promote the new Xbox.
No.
And so that right there has set in my opinion, the precedent to what is now leading to what we're talking about today, which is this new branding, this new, you know, taking
Uh
off the
huh.
old face and putting on a new face.
Thank you for that, because that was leading directly into my next question. Okay, you brought it up. I don't know that guy's name, but the gentleman who said what he said about the branding, whatever you want to call it, play the 360. It wasn't soon after that a guy stepped up and took the helmet of that division, named Phil Spencer.
Yep.
How much time do you think he's got left?
Hmm.
I think they're going to keep him around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to, because like in recent years, more than I would say probably around the 5 to 8 year range, he's really pushed and hinted heavily at Xbox isn't just a console, it is a service. And so I really I don't see him disappearing. I don't see someone else taking his place. But again, I'm not sure because like being on the butt end of how some companies can work, um, it's kind of unpredictable. But if I was to guess, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they'll change his title for sure, but I think he'll still be the one that is like speaking to the
main
crowd.
PR.
Yeah, the main dude. Like you're gonna see him at, hey, here's what Microsoft Game Pass has to offer, and boom. Or he'd be the guy that's tweeting out saying, here comes what's coming out. Like we hear you, like he's going to be like that relatable middleman between us, the gamers, and then the company. Sort of what he is now. So I don't know. That's a hard question.
What do you think, Wookie?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think they'll keep him around. I think he's done a well enough job to keep us informed on what he can, and has tried to keep the hype for Xbox going, especially after that mess. So I think they'll keep him around as the main PR guy.
I mean, to be fair, there was a lot of messes with him in charge. Like there was a lot. And that's kind of where, and see, that's what makes that question hard, is because like you've had a little over a decade to get the shit right.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't. If
Yeah.
anything, the only people that stick around are the ones that grew up on Xbox,
Uh-huh.
or they're like us and they have all the consoles, or you that has PC and you subscribe to PC Game Pass. So like that's why I think that's why he was balancing both, because there was an article a year plus ago that we all three discussed privately about how he was really the only one pushing for new consoles for Xbox for a while. And so him doing that on top of promoting that Xbox is a service, not just a console, I think that was kind of him trying. I think he knew that the consoles weren't going to last and that he was just going to milk it for as long as he could. And that's why another reason he was pushing this service. You know, so I think because of that, of him pushing the service, I don't know, he was definitely trying to bat out fires that he was causing and that was already there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think if he stays, it's going to be by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
Like I really don't. It's not like a solid. Oh, that motherfucker's surely staying because it's the goat. No, I don't think that at all. I think it's one of those like they're going to look at what he's done and they're going to be like, oh well, you did promote this, and now we're here because of you promoting this and pushing it. And even though we've had a terrible decade, we're still here pushing this. And he was also head in charge of getting Activision Blizzard and Bethesda, the parent company of Bethesda. So like he's definitely done his work to earn a right to stay, I think.
Uh-huh.
That's ultimately what I'm blabbing about and trying to say, is that I think he's worked and succeeded enough to stay.
So
But
I
but again, I'm
think
not in charge.
I think you guys are both wrong and right in a lot of situations. Okay, and here is the reason and why I bring it up. I think the days of seeing Phil Spencer up front and in your face are gone. And I think there has been way too many instances where he's came up and said something and the promises have dropped. Every year we hear it. This is Xbox's year. He'll come out and he'll say something. He'll promise games this, promise games that. Nothing happens. Flop. Right? So, whereas, yes, he was promoted in 2022 to, let me make sure the title is correct here, promoted to the role of CEO of Microsoft Gaming. I think he heads that, and I think we're going to see more of Sarah Bond, more in place of him. A fresh face for a fresh, brand new restart. Not only that, one, she is female, and two, she is black. Just going to come right out and say that. Probably sounds nuts, but a lot of people look for, not people, a lot of companies look for a face to stick with the brand name. Phil Spencer is getting older. We need a fresh, younger face. And I think she, just from looking at her, I think she fits the bill. She looks like a brand new, fresh restart for whatever is there for them. Whatever that means. I know it's kind of a weird way to say that, but I think also Matt Booty. I think you'll see more of him as well. I think the times of relying on Phil Spencer are gone. I think Matt Booty and Sarah Bond will be the two people. And then I think depending on how the community reacts to when these two people talks will kind of lead to who's the head. You know, Matt Booty is the let's see if I can find this fucking title here.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Sarah or Matt or what they do.
So Sarah Bond is the vice president of Xbox right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get
I mean,
his
knowing
official
them,
title.
knowing them and their roles probably would have played our answers a little differently. But from what you're saying so far, I can easily see it going down that road.
Yeah, and Matt Booty is the corporate vice president at Microsoft and head of Xbox Game Studios.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. So, like I was saying, I think they're, well, like you said, you're right and wrong, agree and disagree on things. So it's not like Phil Spencer's like, "Oh, you're fucking fired." It's just that he has moved to a different position, and now we have new faces because we are rebranding.
Yep. That's what I think it is.
So
Also, I would like to bring this up here because I see it here. This is something I didn't know. He earned his bachelor in computer and electrical engineering from Purdue University.
oh, look at that.
In 1988. And he joined Microsoft in 2010, and he has overseen some of the Xbox's biggest moments in gaming over the last decade, including playing a key role in the acquisition of Minecraft in 2014.
And who is this again?
That is Matt Booty.
Matt Booty.
Booty boy.
I'll let Lil Rex know about that then.
Does he love that? Booty.
I mean, he wants to be some sort of engineer, so
Yeah.
or electrical developer or something. So he's all over the place right now.
Yeah. So he right now he is in charge of developing, publishing Microsoft games for console, PC, and mobile platforms. Also to note, in 2010 he helped launch the first party game portfolio on Windows Phone. So I'd say he's probably going to have a lot to do with King, that part of ABK. Yeah. So, hell yeah. So, let's look up here a little bit on Sarah Bond.
Sarah Bond.
Exactly. She was obviously a big part in the FTC trials, by the way. Go ahead and talk about that while I look up some more shit here on Sarah Bond and find out quite exactly what is her role. So just to bring up part of that, if you guys didn't know, the FTC is now wanting to reinvestigate the merger because part of what they said was they wouldn't be firing any employees or laying anybody off. And obviously, they have.
They have been.
Yeah. So, what's your reaction to that, Wookie?
Yeah. Since they lied, I think that's perfectly fair. Since that's contract agreement, and they're like, yeah, we won't fire nobody.
Yeah.
Absolutely, get re-looked into, and I think if they do, and they say no, this merger can't go about it, or the merger can't go, wondering if that will cause the other people to say no for the merger as well, and then I'm wondering how bad Xbox is going to get hurt
Mm-hmm.
for letting those people go, because it kind of shows a little bit of arrogance as far as that.
Arrogance as in Microsoft, or arrogance for Xbox in general?
Xbox in general,
Yeah.
I would say.
I don't know if anything's going to come from it. Honestly, I hope it does, solely for the fact that people lost their livelihood, their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But again, coming from what we witness here locally, nothing came from it outside of bad morale.
Yeah.
So, like, which obviously has led to that, down in sales, to the point of another company coming in and buying. But, realistically, we're talking about something way bigger than that. And so I don't know. I don't know if anything's going to come from it. Like, even if it does get reinvestigated, I think it's just going to postpone what has already been talked about and been done, which is they're just going to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going to be more of a slap on the wrist rather than an actual consequence.
Yeah,
So
I think so. I think I agree with that, man. Corporations tend to, hold the chains of everything, and it's kind of why it's hard for me to believe that, or not believe. It's kind of hard for me to understand why everybody thinks Microsoft or Xbox is just going to hold on to all these exclusives because it's what's better for them. They're going to do what's better for the company.
Yeah.
So,
like that so many people have tribalism stuck in their brain as if that is the only way to become better than
yeah.
everybody else. And that's obviously been proven wrong. So, like, it has a time and place, of course.
Mm-hmm.
This is not one of them.
Yeah, I think tribalism is fun in a sense. It's fun to want to root for your team. Obviously, it's just like anything else.
Good to
But
compete.
you've got to be realistic. If I'm a Vikings fan, right, in football. So if I were to go around and argue with everybody every day on Vikings being the best football team of all time, good luck making that argument because they haven't won a fucking Super Bowl.
Good luck. Good luck having teammates.
Yeah, I mean,
Good luck making new teammates. Good luck getting new faces. Good, yeah, like, it's just
yeah. Last question. I wanna say here, this will be kind of our end of the show ordeal. Is with Xbox, if Xbox moves to being a publisher, if so, how different do you think it will be compared to Sega?
oh shit.
Let me state this real quick too. Wookie, do you know anything about what happened in Sega?
Well, it was after console that they did poorly to where they had to become a third-party publisher, right?
Correct. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, because obviously the comparisons being made. Obviously there are different. They have Microsoft backing them, right? Sega is just a video game publisher now. The reason why I bring it up is because for years, I mean, it took years for Sega to finally get back to where they had some good feet underneath them again. And that's just recently.
Yeah.
And so I bring that up because do you think if it still stays bad, if Xbox can stand on the legs of the likes of Call of Duty?
On just Call of Duty?
On just Call of Duty, because right now, that is the only game out of everything they own that's going to release consistently every year.
I say if that's what it is, then you're going to look at a mirror image of what happened to Sega in, let's say, Sonic or another one of their games, which I'm drawing a blank to. It will mirror that almost exactly.
Yeah.
But with Xbox, I would say being bigger than probably what Sega was, having more content out there, I'd say it will be. I'd
That's
say it
also
will be in a
saying you
better
first,
off
sorry.
it will be in a better off position than what Sega was.
Okay.
And
Is this also assuming that Call of Duty still follows the same formula of releasing?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And that's not them evolving into something else entirely.
Yeah. I don't see them moving away from that. There's too much money made every year that they don't release a new Call of Duty every year.
Yeah, no, for now it's definitely going to stick that way. I don't know. They make a lot of money, but I don't know. I don't know if it's enough.
Mhm.
Especially if it's not good. You know what I mean? Like there's enough people that play that despite how shitty it is, they're going to be like it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And the opinions of the games are not going to matter. It's the dollar signs that are made from them.
Yep.
So I don't know how much Call of Duty has made just the past year alone.
So let me put it in perspective for you. As far as in sales, I think it's been since like 2010. I could be wrong on the year. Don't quote me for it. But since 2010, they've been the number one selling game every year until this past year. It was beat out both, I believe, by both Hogwarts Legacy and Tears of the Kingdom, which I think is massive.
I mean, it's so. With that being said, I think Call of Duty would be a steady enough engine to keep their nose above water
Mm-hmm.
for them to do something else, to add something to it, not to just abandon, but to add more to it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I hope this is as far as closing remarks. I hope that whatever Microsoft decides to do, I hope they don't go away completely. It's obviously not going to happen though, so I shouldn't even said it. But I hope that them releasing stuff on other platforms sends more money back to the studios, not just the company for profits. I want to see them reinvest this money back into the studios to give these places the proper help they need to develop
Yep.
good games across all platforms.
Without being such a crunch too.
Yeah. I want to see a fully developed the next Halo game. No issues, released, plenty of multiplayer content, forged right off the bat, no bugs, no ickiness. Give me the best fucking Halo game you've ever made.
We've been wishing for shit like that since Reach.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Give me a fantastic Fable game. Give me a fantastic new Elder Scrolls game. Give me a fantastic Doom game. Give me a better fucking Diablo game. Give me it sounds silly, but it's true. And I will leave it off on this note before we end this show. Okay. First of all, thank you both for being here.
Yes.
But I swear, I'm talking to you, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt Booty. If you ever see this video, I hope it does come to you. But
please tag them.
If you fuck up Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's no shit. Now, okay, now you're fucking with 90s babies right now.
Yeah.
Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare.
We bullied the internet to make Sonic right in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
For real, you better tag their asses in this shit.
Yeah, I should tag it to them on X, Twitter. I should make a clip of that.
You should.
I
swear to fucking God. You fucking up.
You motherfuckers! Anyways.
But they probably, honestly, the hard thing to remember is that they're people too.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
yep.
They probably 100% agree with us, but they also see things from a complete different window than we do.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm very curious to see.
Yep.
Just don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. By the way, when's Spyro 4 coming out? Just do it already. It's the year of the dragon. We should have an announcement already.
Yeah.
With that being said, thank you both for being here. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody who's watching this and has made it this far, I am at right around 107 subscribers on YouTube. I am at 67 followers on Twitch.
Sweet.
So I want to get my numbers pumping. I want you guys to invite people out to watch my videos and stuff like this. So as soon as I hit 150 on both platforms, it's just 150. It's not a huge mark. I will give away a PlayStation 5. So make sure you tag your friends. And if you see any of my videos this week, I will show it in that too as well. So don't forget, we go live on Twitch and YouTube on Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we do quite a bit of pop-up shows. So have a good day, y'all. Peace.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya.